we get a little overwhelmed with the amount of things you have to do as a homeowner. It's a lot. But
hi, this is Moriah Wicker and Cassie DW with DW here in Plymouth.
Welcome to Selling the South Shore, Real Estate in Real Life.
Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or live like a local, we've got you covered. Let's dive into today's topic.
All right, so a year can go by pretty quickly, and I feel like you get to the end of the year and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, it's already been a year. You see like your children have grown and aged and they're so different. And the same thing can happen in your home. Like, oh, I meant to get the HVAC system serviced in the fall, and now another fall has come and gone and you didn't do it.
Yep.
It can be really hard to stay on top of some of those home maintenance items. So we have a little schedule for keeping your home maintained all year long.
Yeah. And I know, especially me, if I don't have a plan or if it's not there, I'm thinking of a million things and nothing's gonna get done. So
you think of it while you're brushing your teeth, but you never write it down, and then you go on with your day and it's gone.
Yeah.
I did that today.
So January is the best time to plan a home improvement project. Don't do what I did last year, start a home improvement project in January and still not be finished with it now in December. However, you're excited for the new year, doing new things, so you're probably gonna have your most motivation in January. And if selling was something that you wanted to do, spring is typically one of the best times to sell, so planning a home improvement project in January is gonna be a good thing.
Yeah, it's a great time to get on a contractor's list. If they're booked out a couple of months, you're gonna time it for the spring, even though like if you plan in January, you probably get on their schedule for March, it's done by April.
Yep.
And then you have if you're not self-employed, you might have a refund check coming soon too, to help foot the bill.
Tax time.
Yeah.
Awesome. How about February?
So for February, monitor your major systems for any winter damage. So unfortunately, especially here in New England, we tend to get a lot of rough storms, nor'easters in January, February. So you want to kind of keep an eye on things during that month and kind of make sure that nothing took a big hit, still working well, especially, no pipes froze or, anything like that. So February for me is a good month to kind of monitor all your major systems and make sure that your home is still properly functioning.
Yeah. And then in March is a good time, once it starts to warm up, to clean those gutters and then check your attic for any leaks in the roof. Throughout the winter, you could get ice dams, especially if you didn't do your gutters in the fall. I may have done that last year. So yeah, March is a good time once things thaw out, clean those gutters out again and make sure there's no leaks going on.
April. So April, again, like I mentioned in the beginning, is a great time to schedule for your HVAC technician to come out and do a service of your air conditioning, because you're going to be turning it on soon. The last thing you want is for unexpected 90-degree day to come in May and your AC isn't working. When we brought our first son Logan home from the hospital, he was born at the end of April. First week in May, we had exactly that, like a 90-degree scorching day. Turned the AC on, and don't ask me what was wrong with it, but it would not turn on, would not work. So getting that tech out there in April to be prepared for May, June, July, and August, and even maybe September is a very good idea.
Yeah, especially when they're not too busy, because during the warm months, they're so busy, you may not be able to get them in for weeks. And you definitely don't want that.
Yeah.
Also, April is the best month of the year when I was born. So, but now we have May is to wash the exterior and check for signs of foundation issues. So again, warmed up after the winter and spring, make sure you go out there, pressure washer, get the siding all nice and clean, ready for your summer guests and all those fun times you're gonna have outside.
I will give a shout out to Exclusive Power Washing out of Pembroke. They came and did our home last year. So I had cedar shingles. I looked into the cost of replacing with vinyl siding. It was way out of budget for me. I would rather go to Disney 4 times than replace my siding with vinyl. And I had a client actually that used this person to soft wash their cedar shingles. And when I went for listing photos, I drove by the house because I didn't recognize it. So it's a really good idea if you have cedar shingles. Hope is not lost for you. I would call him and have a soft wash done.
Yeah, your house looks amazing. So I definitely, and I never knew you could do that with cedar shingles.
No,
we had them too, and we ended up going the vinyl route when we put the addition on. But yeah, definitely soft washing is going to be a much more cost effective.
$400.
Yeah.
Compared to $20,000.
I was going to say 20,000. That was hard for
June. So June is a great time to be checking for signs of destructive insects. So in New England, termites are very, very common, unfortunately. I would say 50 to 60% of the time, the homes that I go through, either there's evidence that termites were there or are actively there. I remember I went through a listing last year and termites were actually in an active swarm. Totally freaked me out. I went home, took a shower, but termites themselves are not necessarily something to be immediately concerned with as long as you get a treatment plan in place before they start, causing structural damage to your home. So that's a problem you definitely, it's such a common and simple and affordable thing to remedy, but can become such a costly and devastating thing if you do not have an eye on it and get it under control. So when like you said, once it gets warmed up and summer's around the corner, bugs start coming out, just make sure that nobody's trying to make a home out of your home. That includes carpenter bees, outer post beetles, all those very common wood destroying insects that we see here in New England.
Yeah. And honestly, setting up for even a monthly maintenance for insects, I know I'll do a shout out to Neil Pest Control. They're amazing. They come every month and just make sure all those guys stay out of the home, not in it, which is nice. We had a spider issue when we moved into our house. Not a spider fan. So we get them to come monthly and it's nice for them just to stay out. And then in July is a good time to have your septic pumped. I know some people pump them every other year or every year depending on, size of your home, age of the septic, all that. But
even how many people are living in there, if you have a 4-bedroom septic and you live alone, you're really not, you're using it at 1/4 of its capacity.
Yeah.
But I also know people that live in 3-bedroom homes with a 3-bedroom septic and there's 4 adults, 3 kids, and
exactly.
That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So just take into account, especially the septic company. I know ours tells us oh, you know what, this looks good, wait 2 years or wait 3 years. Or
who do you use?
We use, oh my God, now I can't remember. Use out of not Neil.
What's your pest guy?
That's my pest guy.
Wind River? Gilpin? Wadsworth? McGonigal?
I only use one.
Nava?
Yes, Nava. Fred Nava and Sons.
There you go.
do. All right. So I use Fred Nava and Sons septic. My septic was brand new when we bought the house. So we had them come that summer. We skipped this year and we'll have them come again next year. So we're on every other year. But it's only, at the time it was only us two and Quinn. So so July, make sure you get those septics pumped.
August is a great time to check your smoke and carbon monoxide detectors and maintain your yard growth.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that one over.
Okay.
August is a great time to check your smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors and maintain your yard growth. So for smoke detectors, we have a video on the channel that kind of walks through, if you're getting ready for a smoke inspection.
Yep.
Even if you're not, those are the same guidelines that you should be following for your specific home. So we can always help if you guys have questions on that. Where should they be placed in order for you to be code compliant? Where are they the safest? What are the best kinds? If we recommend anything like that. And then also maintaining your yard growth. So I don't know about you, but April, May, June, I am might as well be a landscaper. I become obsessed with my yard. I'm wicked into gardening. I'm at Sunshine Gardens in Kingston every other week, getting a little haul to dress up my yard a little bit. Then July comes and I'm at the beach every single day, and I find myself the first week in August in a jungle.
Yep.
Everything is overgrown. I've given up on weeding. I've become in full summer mode and let some things slip. So it's a good time to kind of recheck everything, get it prepped for your fall cleanup, maybe even have a professional landscaper come in, because at that point I feel it's a little bit beyond what the average person can do. It's just that I feel exhausted after going through my yard.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, so September. Unfortunately, September, we're starting to get into the colder nights. Winter is approaching, and you want to make sure winter is coming. No.
The quick intro.
What was it?
Remember, we're doing a quick
September. Okay, do it again. 1, 2, 3. All right, so September is a good time to call your HVAC tech back in and make sure your heating system is all set.
Yeah, didn't we just call them in April?
We did just call them in April in order to get your AC serviced. And now we want to make sure your heating system is good.
Okay.
Again, the same thing, you don't want to be stuck with those hot nights, or sorry, hot nights. Yep, I said it right.
Yeah.
During the summer, you definitely don't want to be cold in the winter months. I know last year, actually on Thanksgiving night, our furnace was only 2 years old. And thankfully, our daughter, who was 1.5 at the time, was at my in-laws because we like to go Black Friday shopping. But we did not call our HVAC people in September, and we did not know that our furnace was broken. So it was one of the first cold nights, and we learned very quickly, make sure you get the HVAC guy in there sooner so you're not freezing. Yeah.
If you're local to Kingston, I highly recommend Ruprecht Heating. He's come out in like the dead of the middle of the night to help my mom back when she was in Halifax, and he's a great guy.
Yeah. Yep, I know. I think actually he might have come to my house too.
Okay.
I can't remember. We brought in a few people last year, but still so new learning all the people around here. But.
October is a great time to change out your screens for your storm windows and make repairs as needed around your home.
Yeah.
Say about that.
There is a really good screen repair place right on 106 in Halifax too, which, mind you, I am horrible with names, so I cannot remember the name right now, but I'm going to put it up. I'll put it up once we put the video out. So
and actually, speaking of window cleaning, Alexa Coy, who's a realtor with Caldwell Banker, her husband, I believe, owns a window washing company. So I think that's a good time to give him a call as well. Kind of spruce those spaces up just like you do the siding. And what did we say? May. It's a good time then to kind of get the windows cleaned out. Because if you have like a regular cleaning person, chances are they don't do your windows.
No, especially not the outside.
Yeah.
So, awesome. And in November is a good time to test that sump pump. Schedule a deep clean of your home. So you're about to be inside of your home for the next few months, cooped up in those winter months. Good time to really, get a good last fall deep cleaning. And with the sump pump, actually, somebody questioned this the other day with me, like, oh, why do you have to worry about it in the winter? Isn't it all going to be frozen? And when there's a ton of snow and when we get those warm days and all that snow melts really quickly, that's when a lot of the flooding ends up happening, is during the snow melts. Right. So definitely November is a good time to check that sump pump, make sure it's working. If you need a new pump, they're like $50 at Home Depot.
Just like with all of our recommendations, you don't want to be in the moment needing these things done. You want to have done them 3 to 4 months prior to when you're actually going to need them. So especially like March is usually when we see the most flooding in basements. So you don't want to be calling someone in March when everyone else is calling. You want to have done it 3 or 4 months before, get it taken care of. Same thing with deep cleaning.
Yep, we are big on prepping rather than reacting. It always ends up much calmer and a much better situation if you prep beforehand. So.
And last but not least, December. Give your fridge and oven a deep clean and be sure to change your furnace filter. So you should be changing your filter every 3 to 6 months, every 6 months-ish. We have like a weird shape to our furnace filter. It's like not one you can get at like Target or Lowe's. So we order it on Amazon, but we have it on an auto delivery setup on Amazon. So that way we don't even have to think about it. It just shows up and it's time to change the filter. Sometimes I'm like, who bought something on Amazon? Like we've been hacked. Oh wait, no, it's the air filter coming. And then same thing, doing a deep clean of your fridge and oven. You probably just, made Thanksgiving. You probably maybe had a lot of stuff, maybe cook over. It was getting a lot of use. So either this could be on November's schedule, but December might be a good time right after Thanksgiving, and then before you have another big cooking feast in December or throughout the holidays that come up in the early spring, getting that oven nice and clean. We talked about in one of our Tuesday tips, cleaning up your cabinets and your pantry and kind of making sure that you're doing more than just surface cleaning at some point during the year with your home.
Yeah. And honestly, with all this, I feel like, especially for our first-time home buyers, we get a little overwhelmed with the amount of things you have to do as a homeowner. It's a lot. But if you take all these little pieces, you spread them out throughout your 12 months, make sure you're at least focusing on 1 or 2 things each month, it becomes a lot easier and a lot less stressful to be able to maintain the house rather than you know, in January think of, oh, I have to do a million things and make sure it's good for the year. Like, no, spread it out and then just make sure you're hitting a couple things each month and you're probably going to be good.
Yeah, bite-sized pieces.
Yep.
So that's our advice for taking care of your home all year long. We hope everyone has a wonderful new year and happy holidays. And
definitely don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next week.